Okay, this is for all you Honda Shadow guys out there. This is a vt700c. It's an 85, and it had stator issues. I mean, by issues, I would like to say that it was fucking junk, because this is it. This is what a stator looks like. That is bad. As you can see, all these contact points are that gold, and then you get to the flat one. That's what's been fucking me. And I don't know, it's kind of bright out here and I can't really make out on the screen, but this is where your three lines run into your stator, and if you can see, they're not supposed to wiggle or separate. So yeah, she's pretty chewed up. This is your rotor. Now, if you can envision that stator, actually you don't have to, because I'm a champ. Ooh, see, she goes in there and she's a magnetic lock when it's in there right. And that rotor is the magnetically charged one. Because if you take, it's the rotor that has the natural magnet to it. And this just picks up the current. That's what it's supposed to look like. As you can see, I've cleaned all my gaskets and everything. And you don't have to take off your exhaust to do this, because this one's not the hard one. It's this one under here that gives you the problem every time. I've talked to a bunch of shadow guys, and they've all told me they've taken this off to change the stator, and I keep asking them why, and they keep asking themselves why afterwards. But this is your neutral safety switch and your oil pressure. And they both go, but these ones seem to be fine. And I was told that it's a dry side. As you can clearly see, it's not dry. You're going to have a little bit of oil loss. Luckily, the reservoir for the oil is larger on the other side, so it contains most of the oil. You will have a little bit of seepage going on. But yes, that's a stator change, and I'm just waiting on FedEx right now to show up with my new stator. And I was kind of hoping to get the old and new in the same video, but it's not looking like that. Yes, I'm a messy mechanic. That's all my junk. For the most part, the bike is awesome. There's a few things I would change if I were controlling Honda manufacturing back in 1985. I would definitely change the setup of the drive shaft, because in a matter of, what, 24,000 miles, so in a matter of 3,000 miles-ish, because I bought it at 21, well, almost 21, the drive shaft went from being perfectly sound to making quite a bit of noise. And it's not the final drive, because I changed the back tire, and I'm sure you know, if you take the back tire off, that final drive stays in place, but you can take it off by the 3 bolts from the drive shaft. And taking it off, there didn't seem to be any sort of wear and tear, or gears that were clashing together or anything like that. And I was 100% positive it was my battery that was putting my bike into such dire straits, and it turns out it wasn't. And 9 times out of 10, I would go ahead and assume it's the battery. But this time, because I assumed it was, I think it ended up being the stator. So the easiest way to do a stator check is continuity test, because everybody's going to tell you continuity test is a waste of time, but trust me, if it wasn't for the continuity test, I would have changed the battery and spent the $20-30 on that, and then had to wait and find out that it wasn't the battery, and then change all the fuses, and then, just an escalation of events that would have never had to happen had I done the continuity test from the beginning, which I did. So I found a stator online for $89, I think. the gentleman that sold it to me was completely awesome. It came from Canada, which, you know, I'm not very trusting of Canadian things, but if it works, right? Well, my next video is going to be the clutch, and I've noticed online, I've been looking for a lot of how-tos and all that, and I've noticed there's not really much for shadows. They got the newer shadows, but not the older ones, and I'm a big fan of this bike. I don't care for these bells for the exhaust, which I've punched out the baffles. There you go. I'm slightly retarded today. I don't know what the deal is. But the bike is awesome. It's great. Gets you from A to B quicker than any car, and a lot more fuel efficient. I love my bike. I hope many of you out there have one similar to this or in as good a shape, because I got this for 1,100 bucks. Nothing wrong with it. And in fact, everything that's happened to it, I've done to it. Like the stator thing, I took it up the highway and tried to see as fast as I could get going, and that was a bad idea right from the buy. Usually I tear them down and make sure they're all right before I take it on a test drive and try to push it as far as it'll go. I got up to 115 before I realized something was going wrong. She started spitting and sputtering and died on the side of the highway. I had it at 115 for, I'd say, 30-40 miles maybe. The benefit of the northern Maine woods is that there's no cops, and if there is a cop, he's up there to arrest somebody else. So they pretty much won't mess with you. Long back straightaways. I don't do this kind of dumb stuff on roads that I don't completely know like the back of my hand. It's a safety issue for other people, not yourself. And if you don't know the road, don't do stupid stuff like that on it. I wouldn't even say do it on the highway, because just passing vehicles on the highway, most of them, from what I can tell, it's a jealousy thing. They want to be on a bike, but they don't want to have to own a bike. So they'll swerve into your direction. They'll try to, make your ride as uncomfortable as possible. And I don't know if it's something that they do on purpose or not, but it definitely happens. So, stay safe. The prettiest bike is the one that hasn't been put down yet. And this one hasn't. And the only reason is because 9 times out of 10, I won't do the dumb stuff. I drive the speed limit, But every now and then, you gotta feed some speed to your ride, But thank you for checking out my video. We got the clutch and potentially a final drive thing to do next, and I will get those a lot more videos of it. So, if it helps one person out there, that's awesome. If it helps 2, that's even better. Thanks for looking at my video, guys.